Welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the website or the show we talk about anime, manga, video games, sci-fi, comics, whatever we want to talk. The Olympics, whatever.
Weapons, Olympics, hacking.
I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And what have you been up to this past week, Michael?
Let's see. Last week, went to Comic-Con for one day, SDCC, and that was a lot of fun. It was a friend of mine who works in their art department, or their art show rather, named Glenn. I've known Glenn for like going on 20 years now.
Uh-huh.
And he pinged me out of the blue and said, "Hey, do you want passes? I'll see if I can swing them." He got me a pair of one days, so Nikki and I went down. And by the way, we are now even for that NCOM badge, you son of a bitch.
Ah, you got the Mass Effect badge. I hate you.
Yes,
all right, okay, we are even.
Still, honestly, I prefer to have the NCOM badge over the Mass Effect badge. But the Mass Effect badge is pretty cool. and I also got...
What'd you also get? You got a Heaven coin.
Yes, I did.
Ah. Were they giving those out at Comic-Con at Funimation booth, or?
No, they weren't. They were giving them away at Expo, but one of my contacts at Funimation that I've worked with, named Sully, she had one extra, and she's like, "Oh, since you weren't able to make it, here you go." And I was like,
"Wow,
awesome!"
That's freaking cool.
And I picked up the panty and stocking box set while I was there. Tons of pictures. I didn't get tons of pictures. I only took like 20 pictures, but I was the pack mule.
Ah, I gotcha.
Nikki went as in her Lulu costume, which looked awesome.
I saw the picture of you guys when you were on the trolley from the Qualcomm Stadium.
She's looking all wistful out the window. So yeah, we ran around that, and there was some. I mean, last year you and I went, and we spent a whopping 3 hours in the exhibit hall and didn't see Jack.
Yeah.
This year, Nikki and I went, and we spent the whole day from opening till like 10 minutes before closing to beat the rush.
Mm-hmm.
And we still only made it through about 2/3 of it. Okay? This exhibit hall is freaking huge.
Yeah, isn't it like 435,000 square feet or something like that?
Something like that. It's an insane... I mean, it's basically take expos and double it.
Yeah.
And actually fill all the space. I mean, the aisles were wider, but the actual booth space, they sold out. I mean, they were packed. It was like all mom and pops on one side, moving into webcam artists, or not webcam, I'm sorry, web cartoonists, and then some comic artists, and then you get into the industry stuff, and then on the other side of the industry stuff, you have actual comic book artists, like AAA Anime was there, a whole bunch of other stuff.
Nice.
Sideshow Collectibles. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sure they had some gorgeous stuff there.
Their booth was really simple. It was just, they had like what looked like, I want to say, a 50 by 50 footprint. And the way their booth was designed was, it was just one central column, nothing fancy on it. I mean, they had some banners hanging off of it.
Right.
It was one central column, and then they had tables surrounding the column, and then tables along the outside edge with examples of all their work. Including, if you get a chance to look up some of the Sideshow Collectible stuff, they had like the life-size crazy head of Sub-Zero. Or it's like it's a bust of Sub-Zero,
right?
And they actually put in, I don't know if they're glass or acrylic eyes, so the actual eyeballs in there. And since Sideshow Collectibles quality is through the roof anyway. So, but he's got to look at it, he's like, it's a really psycho look, and the fact they put in the glass eyes in it makes him look almost real. It's incredible.
Were you able to take pictures of it though?
I did get some pictures.
Okay.
I think I got Sub-Zero. I also got their Catwoman statue, which is 1/6 scale.
Okay.
Oh my god, phenomenal. They had a Obi-Wan statue that was, the detail on this thing was, I took a picture of it and I showed it to somebody. I'm like, and they're looking at it going, "Oh my god, that's really cool." I'm like, "Yeah, would you believe it's only about 2 feet tall?" And they're like, "No effing way." It was incredibly detailed. They also had a life-size bust of Neytiri from Avatar, and it was like life-size as in Na'vi scale. So the head is like freaking huge, and it's just the bust.
Okay.
And the level of detail, the only thing it didn't have were the dots weren't glowing. You know, they have
Oh yeah,
the
okay.
Wii had those glowing dots. In
Which
this game.
I'm sure they could have done easily with, like fiber optics, but probably it was a time constraint or something.
I don't know, but it was. I was looking at it going, "Wow, I want." And they had, I don't know if you're able to pull up the picture or not. They had the prototype for their Baroness figure that they're releasing.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Did I grab it? No.
The GI Joe Baroness pick. Oh my God! Nikki pre-ordered it today.
Don't blame her whatsoever.
I don't blame her either, because they do payments. She's like, "Oh, hey, I can just drop a payment, and then da 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 da." And I'm like, "Your money, do what you want." And I'm so jealous because I want it. Other than that, there was costumers everywhere. I think the only really bad thing that happened was when I was on my way over to the Funimation booth.
Uh-huh.
The Funimation booth was right next to the CBS booth. And at that point, just as we're walking up there, like, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Comic-Con, we present you the entire cast of Big Bang Theory." Gridlock.
Yeah, you would not be able to move whatsoever.
It took me to move 50 feet, took me 20 minutes.
Well, it's also the
And that
cast
was
of Big
taking
Bang
advantage
Theory,
of-
so yes.
Yeah, and that's taking advantage of the fact that I'm 6'5" and broad-shouldered and literally forcing my way through to the booth. It's crazy. Other than that, it was a lot of fun. There was more cosplayers. Of course, you had the. I admire their conviction. The Christian folks.
Oh,
preaching-
Westboro Baptist, all those.
Oh, yeah, the
yahoos.
Westboro Baptist, and you had some other folks, and you also had some other folks who were out there countermanding them.
Oh yes, and they're always entertaining. They do it every single year.
Oh yeah. But I understand you have a video of one particular guy who did it.
Yeah, and it wasn't just this guy that messed around with the protesters. I mean, he went all around the convention center and just messed around with everybody. Do you want to show the full video? I mean, it's entertaining.
I just show like the first couple minutes of it.
Okay,
It's pretty damn
I'll pop
funny.
that on there.
Go
All
for
right,
it.
and of course we're talking about Deadpool.
Yeah, whoever was dressed up as Deadpool was just having way too much fun.
Oh yeah.
There's another scene later on towards the end of the video where he's standing around and he's back out in front with all the preacher, the Baptist guys, and he's got a sign that says "Galactus is nigh." It's just, oh, that was awesome. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was crowded as all get out.
As it
I
is
didn't
every year.
get to go to any panels, but next year I'm going to try and hopefully get tickets and go multiple days. And this time we're going to make a group out of it. We're going to make a group trip out of it and hopefully get some video and stuff.
That'd be fun.
So, if our show's still going, I'll have an actual report next year.
Hopefully we'll get like some extra gear and we'll make a full weekend out of it.
We're working on it. If worst comes to worst, my camera does my little bitty camera does 720p. So.
Oh, okay. But there's some other conventions coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend. Both I've really wanted to go to. One I've never been to. One I used to go constantly and I haven't gone in the past few years. And unfortunately, I can't go again this year. One is Otakon.
That's this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this
I
weekend.
thought it was next weekend, the 27th, 29th, I think.
So it's going directly. So 5. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The other one, well, it's always been the same weekend with a
Right.
couple exceptions in it. The other one is a HackerCon in Vegas called DEF CON.
Is that coming up?
That's not
What
this
weekend
weekend,
is
but
it?
next weekend.
So that's first weekend of August.
Yep. Has been that for years. It's at the Rio.
I can't go this
It's
year.
a 4-day con now. I think it was a 4-day con last year.
Let's put it this way. I've gone 1 year, and it was this year.
Ah, the DEF CON 18.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the
of
way-
course they bumped up the prices again and whatnot. It's $200 cash at the door.
Oh, really? You can't pre-order?
You've never been able to pre-order at DEF CON. It's
Oh.
always been, you show up day one, it's cash only. They don't even ask your name. You hand them cash, they hand you a badge, and that's all the transaction that happens.
Yeah, but the feds love that.
Oh yeah, well, the feds, the hackers, the scene kids, anybody,
Yeah.
The fact that you can just go there and just enjoy it, and it's not really we're going to try to get your information. It's more on lines of you're just going there to hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, have a good time and learn some stuff.
And you learn a hell of a lot of stuff. Although I was looking at the panel schedule for this year, and there's a couple more. There's more than a few panels there. That I'm wondering why the hell are they there? But you know what?
What are they doing?
It's a lot more. I don't want to say noobish stuff, but more along the lines of you question. You know, a lot of this stuff has been general knowledge in the community for years, and then all these people are like, "Oh, we're going to do some panels about this stuff for those of you who don't know." And there's been kind of a backlash online already from some of the attendees.
Well, how are the noobs supposed to learn? I mean,
the way I did through beatdowns.
If you want the script kiddies to grow up and stop being script kiddies, you got to teach them something.
True.
At the same time, there's the maturity. Okay, I can see
that
argument. I can see how that could
so
be
both of those are next weekend. I have friends going to both of them, so I'm hoping to get
bring me something back.
Well, I hope these guys. I asked them to grab me one of the lanyards every year, so.
Yeah. Ooh, Nightstar's mentioning Maker Faire. Yeah, there's another one of those coming up too that I'm gonna try. I missed the last one. I'm gonna try and go to the next one. I think it's in October, November. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But there's another Maker Faire coming up, the Fall Maker Faire, which I've definitely want to go to.
In what areas? Like Santa Barbara, San Francisco? Okay, the Bay Area.
Yeah,
I don't know.
In California, the only Maker Faire that I'm aware of is the one in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I don't think there is one down in San Diego, Oceanside area. I wish there was. I'd be down there every single year, but. Sega fans all saying there's also Worldcon in Chicago. Yeah, there's a lot of cons. I mean, then again, we're right in the middle of the con season. I mean, in the middle of summer, so a lot of stuff going on. I know I can't go because I'm broke.
Yeah,
but it's all good.
I'm in the same boat.
Hey, but we can still check out a lot of stuff. Thank God people we know are going to a lot of these. Therefore, we have Twitter and Facebook, and we can get almost instant con reports. So it's kind of nice.
Another convention that you failed to mention, although it's a smallish one, but it's coming up in San Luis Obispo, is Anime 5 Cities.
5 Cities. Yes, I keep on forgetting to mention that. My apologies.
Yes, you do, considering you're probably going to get press passes for it.
Yes, I love Anime 5 Cities. Yes. Kamikaze and Spinner, Comicpalooza in LA. Yeah, the Chan's like, okay, yeah, we're sorry. There's so many cons we can't even mention them all.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's why there's websites like, I think, animecons.com, and then they just created a sister site, fancons.com, that cover all of these. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so you can just go there and just take a list of wherever it's at all over the country, if not the world.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere you live, there's something going.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't have to be a huge one like Comic-Con or, Otakon or something like that. It could be one of those small, 500 to 3,000 attendee, which are still a hell of a lot of fun.
That's a hell of a lot of fun, and there's something to be said for the small cons. I mean, there's depending on what they are. There are a few. There's one kind of weapons oriented / I don't know exactly what the hell they are, con that takes place in, I think, Arizona. That I've got friends and future family members who have worked it in the past with their booth and have brought back the horror stories, and I'm just like, oh God, no, come back on. Yeah. I've heard some horror stories. So there's some cons I'm just like, yeah, okay, for those that are into it though, more power to them.
True. All right, well, let's move on to what you want to talk about first. Video games, some anime, what we should do first.
Follow up on last show's PSO talk. We were talking last time about PSO 2, Phantasy Star Online 2, and they hadn't announced a release date, or even if there was going to be a version of it released in the West. Well, Sega has given us a teaser trailer saying for sure, yes, it will be coming to the US. Tentative time is late winter, early spring 2013. I play
summer to be on the safe side, but yeah.
No, they're saying it's going to be early.
Really?
I mean, all they have to do, it's all it is now is localization. And a lot of that was built into it, because remember we talked about those folders.
True.
So it's just a case of probably doing the voiceover bits, and that's it.
Okay. Well, we do have the trailer. You want to play that?
Go for it.
All right.
and I do my little nerd happy dance. Yes. After the last talk, after we talked about it the last show, I actually had somebody ping me up going, hey, you didn't mention, are the mags coming back? Yes, they are. So you get to have your little over the shoulder companion that you feed various stuff to and grow it into one of a bajillion subsets and get special powers accordingly. So that was a lot of fun. I can't tell you how many months I spent breeding mags.
I will say though, just from watching that trailer, just the style of that trailer reminded me a lot of Final Fantasy 13. That could be the fact that I've been playing Final Fantasy 13 this past week. So
13, really 13?
Yeah, honestly,
Okay.
I have not finished Final Fantasy 13.
That's all right. Neither have I.
Yeah,
I've only made it a couple hours into. I've only made it a couple hours into it before I was like, "Oh my god, this is painful." It's gorgeous, and the story looks interesting, but not interesting enough to get me past. Yeah, I didn't get very far.
Yeah, the last time I played I checked my last save file when I started this past weekend was November, and then I started. At that point, I already had like 36 hours into it. I'm like, I'll just keep on playing and whatnot. As of I think like 2 nights ago, I was like at the final chapter. Not to give any spoilers, but you have to go from boss to boss to boss, as you do normally do in any of these type of games. And I found out that, oh yeah, I'm beating these guys left, right, and center. And I get to one, and I'm like, oh shoot, I cannot beat this
Did you
person.
encounter your ruby weapon?
No, it got to the point where I couldn't. It was those big dinosaur, brontosaurus kind of looking things that I couldn't destroy. So for the past like 2 days, I've had to grind, and I'm in the boss area, so I have to play the lower 5 bosses over and over and over again to try to level up, and I'm failing miserably.
So now the truth comes out. Now I know where you've been online. Let's see.
Hey, I haven't had it until earlier this week. I had, as people we've talked about before, I did move. That's why you see that, I have a different background now. I went for the diamond
blanket
style.
of doom.
Yeah, well, it's, 2 comforters, and it's really hot in here.
Yeah.
But it's all good though. Hopefully, I'll get some air conditioning in another few weeks.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad the move went well, and that we got you up in time for the show. So.
Oh yes, I love Fios. Bandwidth is awesome.
Oh, I hate you.
Yeah, speed test before the show, it was 46 megs down, 37 megs up.
Wow. Just wow.
I mean, I have the option for $40 more a month to upgrade it to 150 down, 65 up, but I think I'm cool with what we have right now.
Yeah, Verizon needs to come to my neighborhood and oust AT&T, because AT&T sucks.
Oh well.
Okay,
Tangent
moving
over.
on.
Yes, moving on. Okay, so what should we talk about now? Oh, you've been watching an anime lately.
Oh, yes, I actually did. I finally broke down. Well, okay, first off, I told you I picked up the Panty and Stocking video DVDs when I was at Comic-Con, and it used to be that the funniest dub for me ever was Ghost Stories, because they just basically said, script, what's that? Fuck it, let's have fun. And they did a really good job, although some of the jokes are kind of dated now. I watched Panty and Stocking Disc 1 last Saturday. I marathoned the entire first disc. It was me, Nikki, and her best friend Jen. And, oh my God, I thought the show was funny in Japanese. It's even funnier in English, which is rare. And some of the quips they wrote, I mean, they weren't kidding when they said they added more F-bombs. The creative insults they came up with for some of these things. Like there's one point where it wasn't in the Panty Bots versus the Gothicons episode, which was awesome. I love that episode so much. But I don't remember which episode it was. But there's one point where Stocky's doing something. She's like, "Oh my God, that was way easier than I thought. That was easier than Panty in a frat house." And I was like, "Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that." And it's just full of zingers and one-liners, and calling Clinkenbeard as is it Scanny or Knee-Socks, one of the two of them,
I think it was
is
Scanny.
awesome.
Yeah.
it's
really good.
Well, you've seen some of it, right?
I did. At Anime Expo, I went to the premiere, so I watched the first 4 episodes.
So you've listened to
English.
Garter Bell.
I have.
Can you envision that being the voice of Vegeta? I'm not kidding. It's the same voice actor.
That's right, it is. It's right.
Who's
It
also
is
in
Chris about
Steins Gate,
it.
which we'll get to in a minute. But
Yes.
But yeah. I mean, I'm listening to him do Garter Belt, and I'm just going, I want to hear him once say, "It's over 9,000." It's just.
But I mean, the
Just
comments that he makes already as Garter Belt are hilarious.
oh yeah,
Oh man, Garter Belt, that was some great curry. Yes, that was really good curry, good black curry. I'm like,
you'll never go back.
wait a minute, Chris, you wait.
Yeah, I gotta wonder how much of that was Klinkenbeard's script and versus how much they actually got to play around.
I gotta wonder. I mean, it definitely has a feel that you get from watching like ghost stories.
Oh yeah, totally. Ghost Stories was like I said, it was the candle holder or it was the torch until now.
Yeah,
And
it was.
it's wow, just wow. I'm gonna try and watch disc 2 this weekend, and I'm gonna marathon it.
I would
and
love.
just
I need to go buy the set myself.
bring the
Too bad
fight.
it's only on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray. Damn you, Funimation.
I actually asked about that while I was at the booth.
Licensing?
And it's not. They said it's not going to happen. It's not out of the realms of possibility, but there's something they're trying to work out. It's something they're trying to work out for the Blu-ray district.
Negotiations. Gotcha.
That's my guess. They didn't actually say. So it's not. I'm hoping that eventually it will come out on Blu-ray, and this is one of the ones that I'm actually willing to spend the money to buy a second set.
Yeah, but
So-
you know what? Regardless of whether it comes out on Blu-ray or not, this is still something that you guys need to buy on DVD.
Oh yeah, totally. And even watching it on DVD on my TV, I've got a 42-inch widescreen, and it looks crisp. It's so
The
you
animation
can't-
style kind of lends itself to that.
It
Gynax
does,
did the
it
very,
does. It's
the
got that-
thick border lines on a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, thick line, simple coloration. It's very, Powerpuff Girls meets Scooby Doo, but it's wow.
well, for those of you who haven't actually watched this yet, let me play the trailer that they showed for the English dub. It's a little bit old. It appeared online in about May, but it still gives you a taste of what to expect from the English dub of this series.
Yes, totally. Awesome.
I gotta say that aside from the whole animation style, that this is the one scene where they do the transformation sequence where they go to like highly
The actual
detailed
quality
the actual
rendering?
quality jumps up. I've since the first episode came out, however long ago, people have been saying I want this whole series in that style. And I kind of have to
I don't think it would
disagree with
work.
them on it. It wouldn't work on the same level.
Yeah. I think part of the humor and part of what the way it works is the fact that they didn't do the whole anime that way. The fact, part of the randomness and part of the comedy of the series is that the quality of the animation shifts so drastically at a couple points. Like there's one episode where the whole episode takes place in the city next to Datten City. And the animation style on that one, oh God, what is the series? It's very Tokyo Godfathers almost, as far as the art style. And Otomo. It's got a very Otomo feel to it. Maybe not, but anyway, it's radically different style. And then at one point when you see Patty and Stocking raid that city, and they're still in their original Datten City animation style, that's part of what makes it work.
Yeah, exactly. In any case, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, go buy it. The full series, all 13 episodes, are on 3 DVDs?
2 DVDs.
Okay.
It's 2 DVDs. There's 14 episodes, many of which are broken up into 2 little mini episodes. So not every episode is set up that way, but a lot of the episodes are broken into 15-minute segments, about 12-minute segments. And then there's some that actually go across the entire episode.
Okay.
So yeah, it's half of them on one disc, half of them on the other, and so far I'm loving the English dub, which is a rarity for me to say.
Yeah, it's definitely enjoyable. I'm going to pick it up once I have some extra, funds. So,
It's
Let's-
worth it. It
let's
was
move
one of
on.
the few things I went out of my way to get when I was at con.
sure. All right, well, let's talk about another anime that Funimation has given the English dub to. This is one that I've enjoyed so much.
I've enjoyed half of it.
That's right, you haven't finished it yet. You
I do. I need to
Ah,
finish it.
well, now you have your chance. Funimation's also bringing over to the States with an English dub Steins Gate. This is a fantastic, what would you call it? It's like a sci-fi adventure conspiracy series.
Slash nerds.
Everywhere.
Because it takes place in Akiba, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Funimation's actually recently released the dub cast. Honestly, hearing some of these people, I think it's going to be a pretty decent work.
Watching the promo, it actually sounds. I mean, the promo actually makes the dub sound good.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe Funimation will be. I mean, Ocean Group obviously usually does good stuff, but maybe Funimation will start doing really good stuff. And we'll see. Go ahead and roll it.
Here's hoping. Yeah, let's play the trailer.
Oh God!
It's one of those you either love that or you hate that.
The do thing.
Yes,
I thought it was really cute until I got the Steins Gate app on my iPad. Then I hated it.
Okay, I can understand that. But the voice cast definitely gets the same feel, at least for me, that I got when watching it initially with the Japanese dub.
It does. From what I've seen of the that promotion being the only part I've seen of it so far, looks like they cast really well.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's doing oh God, what is his name? I had it in my head a second.
The main character Okarin, or
yeah, Okarin.
J. Michael Tatum is doing the voice.
Sounds a lot like Freeman.
I thought it was Crispin Freeman.
At first, I thought it was Crispin Freeman, and I'm like going, the cast list says otherwise.
Yeah. Then again, I went back afterwards and watched a couple more of J. Michael Tatum's works, and I'm like, okay, his voice and Crispin's voice are on certain characters are very similar.
Okay.
So, it's one of those.
Yeah, the speech patterns weren't quite the same either.
The laugh sounds almost there. It's not as crazy as the Japanese one, but it gives the same feeling.
I'm really looking forward to it. I know they're premiering it at Otakon.
Yeah, lucky you guys. If you're going to Otakon, yeah.
I'm not going to Otakon.
No, except for viewers and
anyone who is.
And I verified it's actually not this weekend, but next weekend. So it's same exact weekend as DEF CON. So a lot of stuff going.
English dubs do suck, but there are exceptions to the rule.
There are, and honestly, let's go into this bee's nest for a second. For the most part, I enjoy Japanese dub over the English dub.
I prefer it, yeah.
Over the past 8 to 10 months, English dubs have taken a drastic turn for the better. I think they're spending more time on the quality.
I agree, and there are some outstanding instances where it works. Case in point, Panty and Stocking. But Panty for as many series as it does work in, like Panty and Stocking, or Hellsing. Hellsing was another really good dub, although Cetus's English accent was kind of lame. But Alucard.
But of
Integra.
Course, if you start going back farther, and even the Ocean Group, Inuyasha, Ramen 1/2, and then there's also Cowboy Bebop.
But for every one that works, there are 15 or 20 that suck ass. Mm-hmm. So, given my druthers, the first thing I'm going to do is pop it in Japanese.
Right.
And if I'm in a situation where I'm too tired and don't want to read my anime, then I'll fire up the English dub. Mm-hmm. And there have been a few times where I've fired up the English dub because I'll have already watched in Japanese, but I'll fire it up in English, and I'll be like, "Oh, I can't take it. Turn it back to Japanese. I'll read it anyway." Oh God, there are some horrid dubs out there.
One that I'm actually going through right now. It's a series I've actually never watched before, but it was a few months ago. It was on sale on the Funimation website for like $10 for the Blu-ray box that it was like done. Was Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle?
Oh God,
the Clamp series. And I was like, okay, it's $10. It's a Blu-ray. I'll check it out.
Was it complete for $10?
The first season was $10. The second season was $10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also picked up Eden the East 2 for $10 at the same time.
I'm curious about Eden the East. But...
I like the Eden the East dub. It's not complete, but for the most part, it's there.
Okay.
But going through this series, I'm doing a little experiment for myself that I do one episode English, one episode Japanese, one episode English, one episode Japanese. See if I can find the blend between the two. And for me, I really can't find it on this one. Because there's
which?
In both of them. Like I can't.
Oh, Tsubasa. Okay.
Yeah, in Tsubasa, there's the Japanese version, which okay, you can definitely tell what characters are which. There's the English version, which you can tell which characters are which, but they don't mesh together. But that could be just me nitpicking, but it was kind of throwing me off.
The thing with Tsubasa though is it takes place across all the Clamp universes.
Right.
I mean, it's sort of like the ultimate comic mashup, if you will. Not comic as in comedy, but comic as in crossover.
Right.
It's the thing about I tried to watch a couple episodes of Tsubasa, and it just reaffirmed my belief that Clamp is a bunch of evil bitches. But
come on, you didn't like Clamp whatsoever?
They are so evil. They're good. They're good writers. They're good character designers. But oh my god, are they evil?
Oh yes, that's why I love them.
They're dude. When I first heard the storyline for Madoka, I'm like, did Clamp write it?
It definitely sounds like one that you would get from them.
Yeah. But Tsubasa for me, I tried to sit through a couple episodes of it, and I couldn't. I actually watched all of Holic.
That's one series I never finished yet. I need to go back and finish.
Got some good points.
Okay.
It's got some neat storylines to it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I had to watch it in dub because it was on Hulu. And
I take it that wasn't a pleasant experience?
It was not a pleasant experience. The voice for, not Hideki, what is his damn name? The guy with the glasses in Holic.
I'm drawing a blank.
They could not have picked a whinier bitch voice.
Did they pull a Shinji?
No, it's worse than it's actually worse. I will take Shinji's soliloquizing. I will take Shinji's soliloquies over this guy's voice.
Wow, that's kind of harsh.
I'm sorry, I just don't like it. I think it sucks ass. So, like I said, for every good one, there's 20 horrible ones.
All right. I can see where you're going with that.
But speaking of, since we're on the whole anime roll here,
okay.
You mentioned something that's going on in San Francisco that I happened to catch the ad for and wanted to mention as well. So we should bring it up.
Yes. Let me grab it right here. You want to kick this one off?
Yeah. There's this trend that's taking off in Japan that are called real escape games. The idea is they pop you in a room, and you're in with a group of people, and there are clues and hints buried in the room in various, they could be up in the ceiling tiles, they could be taped to the back of the TV in the room, and you have to find all these clues to get out to get to the next stage of the puzzle. These have been picking up in popularity in Japan over the last 2-3 years. They've really taken off. Well, they've started, there's a company that's been doing them called Real Escape Game, where they want to bring it over to the States, and they've started to. Well, apparently Viz, they got a hold of Viz, and Viz was interested and got some other stuff involved, and they're bringing one to San Francisco. It's the Real Escape Evangelion game.
I'm hearing a road trip in our short future.
So tempting.
Yes.
I so tempting. I have to admit. When is it taking place? Is it?
Let's see what we have here. New People, which is a subsidiary of Viz.
Right.
That doesn't really state. Oh, here. The game will run 8 times a day during the August 5th to 26th weekend. It's a really small time frame.
Okay, so it's over a month away. So I may be able to save up the money to go.
We got to pay for. You pay for gas, you pay for food, and then the event itself is, if you pre-order it, up to I think a few days beforehand, it's $20. If up to 6 hours before the event starts, it's $25, and then any available remaining tickets at the door is $30.
It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious as to how they're going to be. It's the players versus invisible angels.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a comment in the article talking about how the company hosting it recommends that you dress as detectives, and it's like, really.
Oh, I love the premise that it says on the poster itself. Basically states a secret nerve outpost is suddenly surrounded by hostiles. The operatives are trapped by a group of invisible angels. Suddenly, a strange melody can be heard, and a cryptic code comes through on the Magi. As a nerve agent, you must now figure out how to escape the mysterious place, if you can.
If you
Yeah,
can.
exactly. I want to see like how involved you can get in this. I mean, I've seen similar stuff like this. I mean, I've seen some stuff like you would find in ARGs.
Well, there's also there's a game show about it.
Oh, really?
Great Escape. It's on the TBS.
Oh, now that I have cable now again, I can actually
Either
watch
TBS
it.
or TNT, one of the two of them. On Sunday nights, they have the show called The Great Escape, where they've got three teams locked in a place, and you have to escape. They've done one in Alcatraz. They did one in an old abandoned insane asylum, where you had to escape, get out, and find the clues to one, solve that puzzle, move on to the next clue, all while evading guards.
To be honest, it kind of sounds like something similar I've experienced Gringo Warrior at DEF CON.
Yeah, very similar. Very similar.
That one takes a lot of lock picking though, so that's always fun.
But it's on a grand scale. I'm hoping that this is something like that because it just sounds like a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us an excuse to go up to the Bay for a day, for a weekend.
Oh yeah, like we need an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. So I say we should go up there and check it out when we can. If you guys, the viewers, if you have a chance, let us know if you're going as well. Maybe we'll do a meetup or something like that there.
That'd be kind of awesome. That'd be very awesome.
Well, let's talk about the other Ava thing that I came across. This one's a little more on the odd side. So
okay, that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
You gonna show the picture?
Yeah, I am. Well, not. So we've talked about before the giant Gundam figure that is over in Daiba, over in Tokyo.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of them now, from what I'm told.
Yeah, the one I went to, it was there. It's I forget how big it is.
Store.
It's awesome. I love it. It's great. Ava fans apparently wanted a little of their own action of this as well. So they decided to create, or NTV, the Nippon Television, decided to create this. As you can see, like,
it's not.
minus her head.
It's can you pan it up? There you go. Yeah, notice that it's not. They didn't create an Ava or an Angel. They made Gundam-sized Ray.
Yeah, it's actually bigger than the Gundam.
Oh god.
The Gundam that's up in Daiba, I believe it's 18 meters tall. This one's 18.5.
And that's sitting down. Can you imagine if she stood up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, you could see the little slide in front of me.
Yeah, because everybody wants to slide down Rays.
Yeah, you can slide down Rays. I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, okay,
that doesn't lend itself to perverted jokes. Oh, does it?
I mean, it's a giant blow-up Ray. I got a question.
Again, with the perverted joke.
Exactly. And the thing is, of course, it's part of an event, and you can buy a bunch of stuff for it. Like, I think, what do they have here?
Well, it's like it's the opening of the third Ava store, I think. That they're opening up right next to NTV building.
Yeah. Figure attendees that can slide down during the event. The event will offer an exclusive clear file with the image of the figure for $4 US. 2 kinds of Ava postcards for about $2 each. A hand towel for about $6 each. And
you're going to need more than one hand towel.
And I'm just like, I wonder, because it's blow up, I wonder eventually if maybe some con could possibly bring this stateside.
Maybe the new Japan Expo.
Could you see that? Like, say if Japan Expo USA, they do it wherever they're at. They decide to bring this outside the convention center.
That would be kind of badass, actually. It would be kind of awesome. Well, what's funny is I can't look at this and not go, what the hell?
Oh, come on. It'd be awesome.
WTF, mate. But I am being honest. And also being honest, I know a lot of people who are into macros.
Yes.
And by macros, I don't mean keyboard shortcuts. I mean giant critters, usually furry. I just can see the macros having all sorts of fun with this.
Oh, yeah. I know Sega is doing a similar thing, but it's in virtual, it's not reality, of a huge Miku for the latest video game.
They're doing an ARG?
Yeah, if you
a giant one? Or
a giant one. It's not going to be in real life. It's going to be virtual. Basically, you go to Shibuya's famous crossing, and then you point the DS or your Android phone at the Shibuya 109 tower. A giant Miku comes over and like sits on her or something like that.
Oh God. Wow.
Macro is in.
Oh, apparently. Apparently.
What are they going to think of next?
Flashing back to the opening sequence of Bakemonogatari, where she's stomping, where Senju Gahara is stomping across the city.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Oh, good times. All right. Well, what else should we talk about?
Well, only got about 10 minutes left, so
Yep.
pick your poison.
A re-release of a classic, to me it's a classic video game,
It
is coming to iOS and Android devices, I believe this summer, if I'm not mistaken. Is it this one? Yeah, later this summer. Oh, thank God it's coming back out. Jet Set Radio. I played the crap out of this game when it came out on the Dreamcast, so much to the point where I had to buy a second game because I worn out the first disc.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of those. I love the soundtrack. I love the graphics. I love the gameplay. It was one of those I just played and played and played and played. I think the only other two Dreamcast games I played more than this was Shenmue and Crazy Taxi.
For me, it was Shenmue and Phantasy Star Online, actually.
Nice. Well, let me show you some pictures that they posted up. You can find these on the Crunchyroll website. These are going to be based on, touch devices. They didn't specify, however, how you're going to control the characters. So it's not, they're just basically images which you're going to see on, that's for, I think, Galaxy Nexus.
What's interesting about it is this is like, Jet Set Radio was like the first, no, not the first, but one of the first real good sandbox games.
Mm-hmm.
Where you literally can go pretty much anywhere in the environment, and there's a whole ton of stuff to do, and it was really well done for its time. Jet Set Radio Future unfortunately did not do as well.
No, not really.
But it was a lot of fun too. So maybe this will be a chance for them to resurrect the franchise.
Yeah, because as I'm reading more into the article real quick, it's not just the mobile platforms. It's coming out on these this summer, but it's also going to come out on PC, PS Vita, PSN, Xbox Live, the whole shebang.
Nice.
This is going everywhere. Well, the fact that it says Jet Set Radio will support Retina displays, I'm hoping, but there's no official word.
Right. Well, that'd be kind of cool. If they can up-res it, that'd be pretty awesome.
And of course, no word on price, but as long as it's under $10, I will buy this in a heartbeat.
And Airblade fans everywhere are screaming for joy. Or Air Gear, sorry.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Air Gear, my bad.
Air Gear. I wish that the series continued, but then the production company folded up. Oh, well.
I wish they hadn't, because I'd love to see the rest of it.
There was an OVA that another production company did later on, but it was nowhere near as good.
Yeah. That's one of the series that Nikki's is a huge fan of, and she's got me started watching it recently, and I need to watch more of it because I'm actually kind of getting into it.
Okay, well, that kind of ties into what I wanted to wrap this episode up with. I mean, what have you been watching? I mean, we already talked about Panty and Stocking.
Oh, yeah, so I actually, I finally broke down and watched the first episode of Dorarara.
Oh, good.
I've only watched a couple episodes. Well, okay, one episode. But I want to watch more. It's looking kind of trippy, and now I know who the damn motorcyclist with the cat ears is. I think it's got potential to be really cool. I mean, the first episode really only introduces the characters, including the guy who can rip stuff up when he's angry, which there's a 2007 or 2008, one of those two. I think it was 2008.
Okay.
Expo Masquerade skit that suddenly makes sense. Because there was a guy who came out dressed this one way, and he does this thing where he's got some guy in ninja black, operating his props for him. And he picks up the sign and throws it across. A mailbox throws it, and the ninja guy picks up. And I'm like going, what the frick anime is this from? I don't get it. I mean, okay, I get the idea that when the guy gets pissed off, he gets super strong, a la Hulk. Okay. Without the shapeshift, rather. But what the hell is this from? And then I watched Durara, and I'm like, oh.
I will say this, Unlike other series that I have recommended to you, you went, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I
Case
believe
point,
you're.
Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah, well, we've already gone our battles on that. So
Go on.
this one, I think you actually will enjoy.
So far, I'm liking it.
It's
So
not.
far,
It gets so complex in the storylines and what the characters are plotting. It really sucks you into the point where you're like, okay, another episode. Okay, another episode. Why is
yeah.
it 4 o'clock in the morning?
Well, it's weird. It's about like in the opening. You know how most series, when you watch them, if you watch the opening sequence of an anime, you're all the key characters that are going to show up
Mm-hmm.
are usually in the opening, and it's usually 4 to 6 on average.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 12 or 13 in the opening for Durara,
Yeah, and each of them have their own fully
and each of them
fleshed
have
out.
their own subset. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the hell?
It's great. It is so great.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I really am.
Nice. Anything else you're watching lately, or?
Let's see. No, I've been spending a lot of time playing with Poser, actually. My 3D muse has respawned, so I've been doing a lot of
Good
3D
stuff.
stuff,
Good
and
stuff.
not just naked pictures.
I'm liking the whole idea you have now. I mean, do you want to explain the ideas behind your stuff?
I don't know that the audience would be interested, but I've been doing some renders where I took a character and I'm basically working on a storyline
Mm-hmm.
with a young Sith character who's her storyline's developing.
It's gonna be good.
I've rendered the first thing where she actually accepts the training, and then there's a test shot I did of her when she's in the training.
I'm looking
It's
forward to
mostly-
how it's gonna progress.
Oh, it's progressing. It's getting interesting. There may or may not be ecchi parts. I haven't decided yet. Um, but right now the backstory is going to be the hard part to fill out. That's going to be. I need to actually write this stuff and not look like a moron. So
I'm sure it'll work out.
Yeah, fanfic, whatever.
For me, I decided to sit down over the past couple weeks when I had some free time before I moved, and really just started watching, all of the new series, because we're now in the summer series of all the new anime, and it's kind of hit and miss with a lot of them.
I've been hearing that. I've heard that over the last season or two, the hits have been way outnumbered by the misses lately.
Yeah, I mean, let me go to some ones I'll do quick previews or reviews of it. Campione is basically boy who has a power of the gods and is in Italy and has to fight other gods and he has powers and whatnot, and it's cliche as hell, but the fight scenes are entertaining. So it's one of those that I watch.
It sounds like Jason versus the Olympians or whatever that movie was from that kid series.
Kinda, yeah, but with big-breasted nuns.
Oh, hey, you got to have your fan service.
Yes. What other ones I was watching real quick?
Enter harem anime number 1235765.
I saw Total Eclipse the first couple episodes.
Uh-huh.
It has promise. Little.
No more psychic saliva.
That's over. I like the ending to that one.
Okay.
That was Total Eclipse. You either love it or you're gonna hate it. Another one, La Storia della Arcana Famiglia. It's another one takes place in Italy. You have a family, family mob, but each character actually has a power based on a card, and they all have to fight each other for the hand of the head of the family's daughter, who's also in it to protect her her own destiny. I'm like,
Yu-Gi-Oh meets the Mafia.
again, fight scenes, awesome storyline. We'll see
Yu-Gi-Oh
what
meets
happens.
the Mafia.
Sword.
That's what we should do. We should do a segment. It'll be Michael tells you what the story is about without having watched it ever.
Okay. Sword Art Online. This one, I want to enjoy it. Think Dot Hack. New series, a new game comes out. It's fully immersive and whatnot. You have a headset on and whatnot. Only for some reason, only 10,000 units or copies are going to be sold, so you can go online. Okay, sure. So the guy gets on, and the thing is, there's no magic in this. It is strictly sword play. So you have completely different different swords, different fighting styles. It looks pretty cool.
Really?
Then you have, at the final part of the first episode, the plot device. Basically, you have, or story, I should say. The creator comes onto the game scene, this giant being, and says, "I have now trapped you all in here. If anybody of your family members tries to remove your helmets or forcibly remove you from the game, you will die. If you die in the game, you will die in real life. The only way to survive is to beat the game." That's it. Have fun.
I was wondering if
I
that was
was like, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be cool. This is what?
this is Battle Royale meets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's battle royale. Yeah. Other
Come on,
things.
Japan. There's better storylines out there.
Yeah, I mean, Kokoro
Quit
Connect.
rehashing the stupid shit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Not that Battle Royale was wrong. Battle Royale was epic,
yeah.
but
What else, real quick? Kokoro Connect. High school kids, very one-dimensional characters and whatnot, and for some reason they start swapping bodies. Doesn't explain anything why.
okay, this has fan service written all over it.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, kind of like Ogenki Clinic when the doctor gets the girl's body.
Kinda, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've been watching. Some have been good, some have been okay. Some I'm like, I'll never watch this again. I will say, because I finished Sakamichi no Apollon, or Kids on the Slope.
Hmm.
Very, very good series.
I heard that one was good. I heard that one was
Especially
really
for the
good.
fact that, yes, there was a love triangle in there, but they didn't focus on that. It was mostly focused on the relationship between the two male characters, as they, not romantically, but how they grow in a friendship over the years,
Okay.
and how they battle. And then I kind of
So
wish...
it's not a relationship like Get Backers or
No,
something.
no,
It's
nothing like
actual-
that.
Okay.
But it definitely has a really good ending. The music was fantastic. Obviously, it's Yoko Kanno, so it's going to be
Of
amazing.
course.
It's one I highly recommend. Also, Space Brothers. Check that one out. Two brothers,
Space
when they were
Brothers?
young, made a promise they want to, be astronauts and go to the moon. Shoot forward like 30 years or something like that. The youngest brother is actually part of NASA, getting ready to go to the moon to create a moon base, and the older brother is kind of like a washout a little bit. But he
Uh-huh.
eventually actually tries to get into the Japanese space program, and now it's the younger brother trying to, move forward, and then you have the older brother trying to catch up. And there's a space
Huh.
pug, so it's really good.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's one I really enjoy.
Is Persona 4 this season or last season?
I want to say last season. That's one I
Uh-huh.
haven't seen.
Okay, because I wanted to hear how that turned out because the game kind of bugged me. The idea that you have to shoot yourself in the head to do the summon really bugged me.
Well, come on, it's what all the cool kids do.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
All right. Before
As
we
a
wrap...
parent, that bothered.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, before we wrap this up, anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, I can officially announce that yes, I am part of the new event. My exact title will be settled up by the end of the month. Tentatively, I'm listed as director of programming.
Really? That I did not
Yes.
know. Congratulations.
Thank you. What all that entails will be determined in the next few weeks, but I had to make sure that I was allowed to talk about it before I talked about it.
Understood. Considering I'll say this is probably a little bit more, promotion, but given your stellar work at AX over the past, 15 years?
That hasn't always been stellar, but yeah.
The amazing stuff you've done, okay, let's talk about the last 6 years.
Okay.
Especially in like the programming and guest selection and whatnot. I can only imagine what you have planned for the new event.
Well, I have to admit, I mean, the other people that are coming on are cream of the crop. I mean,
Yeah, like
you
that's
know,
people from like Otakon and Anime
between-
Boston and
yeah, you got the people that Sean is bringing on and the people that the French are bringing on because they're bringing some of their people too.
nice.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun. As I have more.
Yeah, sorry.
What was that? You playing me off here?
Get off
It's
the
turning into a
stage!
Chappelle show. You playing me off the wrap it up song. I know how you
No.
work.
I hit the
All right,
wrong
man.
button.
But yeah, so yeah, I am doing that. Other than that, the R2 unit should be done this week, so I'll have pictures for you next week.
Yay, that thing's awesome. I love the paint job.
It should be done. Other than that, I'm good. How about you?
Nothing much for me. I'm just gonna be working on more articles for the website for OtakuLife.net. If for the viewers, if you guys enjoyed us being on Stickcam more, I believe there's only like one ad at the beginning when you first joined, and that's it. If you guys enjoyed this more, let us know. We might in the future might start going multicast and maybe go to Ustream, Livestream, and Stickcam or something like that. So just let us know. Shoot us an email as always. You can hit up, I think it's support at OtakuLife.net. Or there's a big button that you see on the OtakuLife.net website that says feedback. Just click that and send you an email.
Yes. And if you guys come up with something, like you hear about something on the horizon that, maybe we didn't cover and should have, please let us know.
Yes.
Because, we're doing, it's two old friends BSing, but talking about a lot of cool stuff. But, we don't, as varied as our tastes are, we don't know everything.
No.
So if you guys come up with something really cool that's coming up, let us know. And we'll see if we can't get it on the show. If it sucks ass, well, it's not going to get on the show.
Yeah.
But,
finally, if you guys want to keep on supporting us, as always, we still have the fundraiser going on. You can hit it up over at indiegogo.com/otakulife.net. If you have $5 or $10 to help us out, that'd be fantastic. If you want to spend a little bit more money and donate $40, you'll get a really cool OtakuLife.net t-shirt. Thank you to those of you who have already donated enough for the t-shirts. I'm waiting to get enough of those to actually put an order in so I can send those out to you. So hopefully you should receive those sometime in August. Thank you very much for your patience on that. And just thank you for helping us out. Any money that you donate to
goes directly to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Either helps, Michael and I with either new equipment, or say if we need to take care of something like Michael maybe needs more lights or maybe another camera, or it won't be like, hey, Michael and I want to go out to eat, you guys got to pay for our lunch. No, nothing like that.
Yeah, no, it's one of the goals that we're hoping for is to get to the point where we can get a commercial-free account, so that you guys won't have to watch the commercials at the beginning. Ad blocker's great, but ad blocker's not perfect.
Yeah,
and it kind of sucks that you guys have to sit through a commercial to get to this.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
For right now. All right. Well, let me play that in the background. I have to figure out how that's going to work later on.
Oh, I can't.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us in this episode of From Mother's Basement. What's up, Michael?
It wouldn't be a show without technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's always.
The minute you fired the music up, I couldn't hear you at all. So
okay.
I don't know if it's me or them. If it's good for the audience, then hey, screw it. But I can't hear you.
Gotcha, no worries. All right, everybody. For From Mother's Basement, I'm Jason.
And I'm Michael.
And we will see you next week.
And we'll have a semi-post show.
Hey, everybody.